Hey everyone, it's Deborah with Pinching Pesos, and I thought I would do a video series for you guys about parts. This is a Keurig machine that I got for $5.99. It is model B60. And so what I'm going to do in this series is basically chronicle for you everything that I'm going to take off of this machine. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I did was I took this into the kitchen and put water in it and tested it and made sure that it worked, because I'm going to be taking out everything from the water pump to the hoses to everything else. So let's see if we can get started. I've never actually taken a Keurig apart to this point. The last Keurig that I took apart was actually a mini Keurig, and those don't retail for as much money, so it was kind of a waste of my time. Here's the little puncture needle thing. This is going to need a hex screw to get this out. Cup holder's got 2 screws in it. And get screws on the bottom. And I'm going to go get a towel because it still has water inside. So I'm going to end up with water. Okay, so I got my towel and everything here. We're going to take this baby apart. The first thing I took off was the water tank. I'll also sell the water filter holder. And I took out, you saw earlier, the puncture, the needle puncture inside. Now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. So what I did is I looked up Keurig part. That was the keyword that I searched for. And if you're going to list parts, please make sure that you put the word part or parts, replacement parts, spare parts, but at least put the word part. If you know, I know sometimes you can't fit replacement, but at least put part. I see a lot of people that they don't put part, they'll just put water tank and not part, or they'll put, you know, puncture but not part. And when people look up things, they look up Keurig parts. So make sure you put the word part. Or don't, and then I'll sell the item and you won't. So anyway, so if you're going to do parts, another suggestion is that you go buy like a multi-pack. A lot of cheap screwdrivers. I think I paid $12.99 for a screwdriver set that came with a bunch of these little bits. That it had the Phillips head, flat head. It had the star, which a lot of machines use. These are actually called, yeah, they're star. I was going to say they're security ones, but the security ones have a hole in them. So a lot of machines use these star bits because I guess they're less common. I don't know. Maybe they're easier to put in. But anyway, so you're going to need some of these because this is something that is used quite often. Or the little star-shaped ones. So when I got to looking up parts, one of the parts, aside from the normal stuff that's easy to take off, was the handle. So I guess people break their handle. And the thing about selling parts is what you're selling, and you know, people ask, you know, how do I sell parts? What am I supposed to sell? You sell what gets broken. What gets broken, cracked, what got eaten by the dishwasher, you know, melted by the heater, left on the stove, that kind of stuff. Things that make machines not work just because they don't have the little part. So if you think about it, these handles, while they look metal, they're just plastic. So if somebody broke their handle, their $130 Keurig, all of a sudden doesn't work anymore. So there's the handle. So we'll sell that along with the screws and the washer. So what I would suggest that you do is you go to Dollar Tree or wherever has the cheapest deal on those snack size Ziploc bags and get some of those so that you can put your screw pieces in there. And then what I would also suggest that you do is get some of the address labels, like those 30-up address sheets that you use for FBA if you don't have a Dymo or a Brother or whatever. So that way you can write the part on the label. So you can say, you know, these are the handle screws. Because you could put these in gallon size bags all together, but gallon size bags can get expensive. Because I think you only get like 10 to a pack for $1. And you can get like 200 snack bags for like $2. So anyway, so let's keep going here. All right, so we've got our handle, and I'm gonna take my own advice and go get the labels. All right, so what I want to put on here is Keurig, and this is a D60. I'm gonna put the model number on there because if you're gonna be doing multiple parts, it's really easy to get them all mixed up. And we're gonna put handle. So, and I get these address labels, if I see them at the Goodwill, I'll pick them up. They're normally like $1.99 a pack. And I get the older ones because they're cheaper, and you'll get like 1,000 sheets for like $2. So, I'm just gonna put that on my little bag. And those are the screws. And then I'll just tape these together. So let's see what our next part is. So a good thing to do if you're not sure what to take off of a machine is do a search for the parts, and then you'll know what other people are selling. And it's kind of once you do one, you'll know exactly what to do the next time. Let's take the base off. Alright, looks like it's got a ground right here. And I don't know what kind of wire that is. I bought a whole bunch of these little screwdrivers from Harbor Freight. They were really super cheap. And I use them quite often. I could just cut these wires off, but since this is the first time I've done this, I don't know if the ground wires are necessary or not. A screwdriver. Alright, so I got that pried off. So this is the inside of what we got going on here. So based off of my research, what I discovered people were selling was this right here. It's a suction part of the pump. This actually, if you look here, this is what the water tank goes in. So this is the suction plug. People were selling this. This is the water pump. So they were selling the water pump. And they were also selling the hose solenoid. Now yesterday when I was doing the little mini unit, I worked on it for like an hour. before I decided it was just stupid for me to be doing that, because those mini parts just don't sell very well. I would have been better off just lotting up the machines and just selling them whole as parts, as a lot of like 3 of them. What I ended up doing is getting frustrated and just throwing one away. So, but I do have the one pump and I do have the one hose system. So, I mean, I'll get my money back for sure, but, so let's go ahead and take these off. So, like I said, I'm not an expert and I don't know exactly what I'm doing. So it's a learning process as I go. And, so what I do is I just, if whatever screw I see, I take it out. And it's amazing to me when I think about it that there's some, you know, some person in a factory in China or Bangladesh or Pakistan or, you know, Korea, Taiwan, but mostly China, putting these things together, putting all of these little pieces inside of here, and they fit together like a puzzle. I was having such a hard time getting the outside off of the unit yesterday. And I got to thinking about it, and it's somebody's job to put that on like a 3D puzzle piece. Alright, so it looks like this base detaches from the top, but I'm not really sure how. That one screw did take it out some. Okay, there we go. Pops off. Alright, so I'm gonna... Okay, that pops off. I don't see another screw in here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this section thing off and see if maybe there's a screw there. Now, this screw goes to a part, so I don't want to lose these screws. So we're gonna make another label. And this is Keurig D60 suction screws. Because this screw is not the same as this screw. Okay. Those are safe and sound. Alright, and looks like that piece just comes right on off. Sweet. Now it does have cables that hook up into the inside. It's got wires. So this is the piece I just took off. And it has a red and white wire connection that goes up to the motherboard. So what I'm going to do, it looks like it is zip tied clamped, is I'm going to remove the zip ties so I can separate it from the rest of the hosing, the rest of the hose system.